There's nothing like a 330-pound crocodile to give you a wake-up call. In 2013, Guy Whitall was nearly breakfast in bed for the reptile after spending a night at the Humani Ranch in Zimbabwe. Whitall slept for 8 hours with the hulking monster under his bed without a clue. He even recalls hanging his feet over the edge when he first woke up. Whitall was having breakfast in the kitchen when he heard the terrified screams of a maid who had just found the beast. Luckily, they were able to wrangle the croc out from under the bed and release it back into a nearby dam. Napoleon Bonaparte was a legendary military genius and the Emperor of France. When he died in 1821, an autopsy was performed to remove his organs and preserve them. The doctor also removed his penis and gave it, unpreserved, to a priest in Corsica. Napoleon's penis ended up traveling across the globe. In 1916, the shriveled appendage was bought by a British collector. Then it went on display in New York. Decades later, it was bought by a urologist who left it under his bed until his death, recently found by his daughter. She has already received offers of up to $100,000 for this historical body part. Lucky to be alive. Guatemala City resident Inocenta Hernandez woke up to the sound of an explosion in July 2011. Thinking the noise was a car accident, Hernandez went looking outside to help when a neighbor told her the noise came from inside her house. To her horror, she discovered a 3-foot wide, 40-foot deep sinkhole under her bed. She counts her blessings, because the sudden collapse could have taken her and her grandchildren with it. A 61-year-old woman from Florida got the shock of her life when she couldn't find her cat. She looked under the couch, in the kitchen, and when she finally reached under her bed, she felt the skin of another human. As you can imagine, the old woman was terrified and in shock. She had no clue what to do. Luckily, the burglar was just as spooked and ran out of the house and over the backyard fence. He was later caught and detained by police. Ma Guangdai is the landlord of a residence in China who had a tenant that just disappeared like a ghost. When cleaning at the home of the occupant who had lived there for several years, Ma found 4 carton boxes completely stuffed with cash under the bed. After turning it in to the police, Ma learned that there was 6.33 million Chinese yuan in the boxes. That's more than $1 million US. Dubbed the Mona Lisa of violins, the Vuitton Honore violin is the most valuable in the world, selling for an estimated $16 million in 2012. This 274-year-old violin was played by many of the world's most renowned violinists and was recently unearthed from beneath the famous violinist Yehudi Menuhin's bed after 5 decades of storage. The new owner has graciously left it on a lifetime loan to the world-renowned violinist Anne Akiko Myers. Hopefully she won't shove it under her bed this time. The O'Neills were confused when they came home to a ransacked condo. It was as if a poltergeist had rummaged through their clothes, stacked their electronics, and removed all the soles from their shoes, because all of their valuables and cash were still there and untouched. The family called the police, but without finding a fingerprint, the police left. Not a moment later, the O'Neills called the police again about noises they were hearing under their bed. Disturbed, the O'Neills braced themselves to find a monster, but instead were greeted by a meth-addicted woman wielding a kitchen knife. She had been hiding under the bed for 4 hours. Local police in Milledgeville, Georgia, had Shane Cox under surveillance for months before they knocked his door down. The 36-year-old meth dealer was supposed to be inside. When the bomb squad and canines busted into his house, they couldn't find him, but they did find a 6-foot hole under a tanning bed and 2 trap tunnels that led to several rooms where Cox often hid from law enforcement. With a whole system of escape tunnels under the bed, Cox was able to escape the arrest completely. Sadly for him, he was later found by police at a local dollar store, apparently buying supplies to continue his meth cooking habits. We all know how dirty hotel rooms can be, but this holiday stay has to be the worst. When a couple checked into their hotel room for the night, they were overwhelmed by the fierce stench. After hours of restless sleep, the couple called the front desk to complain. When the staff arrived to locate the smell, they decided to remove the top mattress. What they had been sleeping on top of is astounding. Under their mattress was the rotting dead body of a girl, stuffed in the box springs. Keeping things lively when you're old is hard, but not for this Pennsylvanian 70-year-old. Looking for a good time, he would buy booze and sell it at a markup to his assisted living neighbors who couldn't leave the property. But the residents wondered what he would do with the extra cash. Well, the mystery was solved when he got caught by police with a naked prostitute under his bed. As a result, the 70-year-old lost his assisted living subsidy.